I have spent over 100 days inside this Minecraft 1.21 world. My name is Q, and you all can call me Death Basher. And this is the story of my 100 days in Minecraft 1.21. When I generated this world, I did not know what the actual plan was going to be. What I do know now is that I transformed this land into a beautiful civilization. This place had no purpose or soul when I first came across this little town. Now, it's a lively town with many attractions. If you're excited for this movie and the future of this never-ending series, leave a like, drop some comments for ideas and suggestions. If you're new and like what you see, consider subscribing and hitting that bell so that way you don't miss out on future episodes and movies. So grab a drink and a snack, or fall asleep, or clean your house, whatever you want to do, to the very first ever 100 Days of Minecraft movie on the channel. Welcome to the very first episode of Minecraft with Q. My name is Death Basher, but you can call me Q. And this series will be all about enjoying Minecraft from the beginning till the end. I love to build in Minecraft. Since this is a sandbox game, that means I can make my own rules. That being said, I will be turning fire tick off, cause who doesn't like to play with fire? I will also have 3 data packs installed, which are double shulker shells, cause that just makes sense to me. Fast leap decay to try to save on lag for the future. That's right, I plan stuff out. Also, anti-Enderman griefing, because I don't know about you, but I hate it when I finish a build, stand back to admire it, and see that Endermans have placed dirt all over it. The goal is to finally settle down in a place and just relax and enjoy the possibilities in this Minecraft world. Now, I don't know about you folks, this is a pretty good spawn. We got a bit of a ravine, or kind of a ravine, a chasm. We're in a spruce forest, which is one of my favorite wood types to build. We got a birch forest right over there. Ooh, and there's a plains. Could that be? Could that be a village already? I begin the typical fresh world grind of gathering wood, which led me to the very first crafting table, so that way I could craft this beautiful wooden pickaxe. Which, after gathering some stone and crafting the very first stone pickaxe, I decided that it was a good idea to throw this garbage of a wooden pickaxe off the cliff. After gathering enough stone to make a full set of stone tools, I begin my journey by foot in search of this village, which clearly they wanted me to find with the smoke signals that they were sending me. This village is looking... Oh, look at all those trapdoors. Oh, that's going to save us so much time and resources. Worst enchantment ever, my guy. Hopefully we have some good things in this village that we can... Ooh, ow. That we can ransack. Ooh, a chest. Look at all this bread. And we already have some iron armor. This is a great start. Potatoes. Okay, we're all set. This has been the perfect start ever. If you're new here, yeah, my favorite color is purple and I love potatoes. As our very first day comes to an end in the new series Minecraft with Q, I think this is a good spot to kind of set up a little base camp here, and hopefully we'll even get a beautiful starter house setting up here. Excuse me, sir. This is my bed. Not your bed. This is my bed. Okay? As I arose from my slumber, I got right to work, very busy, of clearing out all these trees, which can be fun and very zen if you ask me. I do enjoy doing a little bit of deforesting because 1, you get resources, 2, you open up the area and thinking that, hey, I just opened up this area. What can I really put in this area? So it got the juices flowing in an idea, and while I did all of this, I was thinking of the design of a house that I really wanted to build. Well, I have to say this is a pretty decent chunk cleared out right here. The starter house is going to go here, but first I need to head underground and get some more resources because I need some iron for iron tools. I need some stone and stuff, and hopefully I can come across some cool things underground as well. Like diamonds, maybe? We'll have to see. I began coming into this cave, not realizing what I was coming across. Started to light it up, gather up some coal, went to venture in just a little bit deeper. Didn't realize just how truly massive this cave was. It's crazy. Found some iron. Made sure to grab that up because, you know, every start of every world you need to gather yourself up a bunch of iron. Oh, look at that. There's an emerald. Too bad I don't have an iron pickaxe to grab you. I'll be back for you later. After finding that emerald, I came across a very spooky, scary guy, this zombie here. Oh, that's a geode. And a scary guy right next to it, guarding it. Let's go back this way. After deciding to change courses after finding that geode and seeing a skeleton there, which I was just not quite ready for, this creeper and zombie tried to take me out. So I decided it was time to hunker down, smelt down some of this iron that I collected, and gather up a bunch of andesite, because andesite is going to be in the build for the very first starter house. Luckily I didn't die, but I came close to. After all that scary mining and running into all those hostile mobs, I think it's time to kick it back just a little bit, slow things down, make it a little bit more peaceful, you know what I mean? So I think it's time to revamp this little farm right here. Nothing against you, Mr. Farmer Villager, but this is just not working out. It's not very efficient. There are potatoes planted in there. I think it's my turn to take this little farm over and make it more beautiful and more efficient. I need some more seeds. So I think I'm going to head out over there to that plains biome, and I'm going to start gathering up a bunch of seeds.
Hello.
And I'm going...
Excuse me, sir.
There's another village over there?
We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
After realizing that there's a village right over that hill, this is what we were able to get. Some books, a lectern, some emeralds, quite a few cauldrons, quite a few brewing stands, a decent amount of apples, and look at all of these hay bales. So I think we're pretty set for food right now. I think the next thing for us to do is to actually get a house going. But what I need to do is get a few more resources gathered up and then start laying out the groundation. Or as my buddy Babs, which, hey, if you like hardcore Minecraft, I like to watch it. I don't really like to play it because it's a bit too scary for me. But if you like that kind of stuff, you should go check out my buddy Babsels. Link down in the description. And he says foundation. Or does he say groundation? Is it foundation or groundation? Anyway, check out my buddy's Babs. Link in the description. I had spent many hours at a creative test world trying to come up with some sort of design for a starter house. I was starting to get frustrated where I took a deep breath and started scrolling through Pinterest. Okay, don't judge me. I hardly use it. Well, anyway, I decided to go for a theme of, or I have no clue, but hey, it's starting to look pretty. No? Okay. It wasn't until the very end when I went to stand back to admire my work that I kind of realized that I had forgotten to hit the record button for the replay mod, which made me just so crazy. Deep breaths, deep breaths. The house does need some work done, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time off camera, calm down, take some deep breaths, and put some lipstick to this ugly pig. Oh yes, some time has passed, and I did put the lipstick onto this pig, and while I was waiting for some trees to grow into the background, over there I have a little makeshift tree farm up over there on the knoll, and while I was waiting for trees to grow, I gathered up some cows, and while I was waiting for them to breed, I decided to build this beautiful mine shaft, because, well, I needed the deep slate, so I had to go underground and needed to make a mine shaft, so I figured, hey, why not decorate this thing and make it look beautiful? Boom, here it is. Oh, it's so pretty. I was going for the vibe of, like, it's just a rock sticking out, and a simple cave entrance. They threw up some doors, and, oh, that's not right. Ah, that's better. Don't look too closely. There's still more to do down here. So like I said, I got some cows going. Got this beautiful mine shaft, because again, needed the deep slate in order to do the different accents to the house, which it's starting to bring it together. Oh, also, let's show off the inside here, because I've been a busy bee. Beautiful birch stripped floor with a different pattern. Up here's the bedroom, and then up here in the actual loft is chiseled bookcases. Because if you guys want to drop some comments and for ideas, suggestions, or questions or anything, I will make sure to fill a book and actually stick it in here into the bookshelves, and that is going to be the storage for the top of this barn. And then eventually we'll do a little pokey out bit here for like a little hay loft, store up some hay up in here. Big plans, big plans. Well, folks, now that I've got a little pathway started and knowing where things are actually going to be laid out, I even got all of the stuff off the front lawn and organized up inside the house. But our attention turns to over there. Where those two little guys are, they're hiding in some trapdoors. I know for the future that I'm going to want villagers to auto-harvest crops for me. I'm going to need villagers to keep coming alive and keep breeding them because these guys, they got money. They got things that I want.
Hello.
And I can trade with them and convert them to make an iron farm. But in order to do that, I need a breeder. So I am going to take this whole house down and I am going to build up a breeder to where they breed on this upper level, and then the baby villagers will drop down into this level, so then I can just lure them out on this level and make a pretty cool pathway, make it look really pretty and stuff. But first, I gotta do some deconstruction. So let's do some deconstruction. I think that'll be pretty fun, don't you? Boy, oh boy, was I not prepared, nor did I have enough resources on hand to actually get this thing up and built. Took me a little while to remember exactly how the layout of this spot actually works out. So I finally remembered how it actually works to have the baby villagers drop down into here. Then once they're grown up, then we can flick the lever, send a minecart on its way, and it'll pick up the villager once it's fully grown. And it's the most simplest villager breeder ever. Like, we got a little carrot patch right here. I've been trying to get the carrots to grow up, and these two villagers were willingly enough to leave this little pen right here, hopped into the boats, and it was pretty easy because higher elevation dropped down into here. And then down in here, it's just the simpleness of, oh, there's a trapdoor, so they think they can run this way, so the babies want to run and jump onto the beds. Well, they can't because they'll fall down into the hole and then wait to be grown up, and big bada boom, we got a villager breeder. So I need to spend some time just letting these guys farm up these carrots. I got to get more carrots planted in here. Get a bunch of stockpile of carrots going so that way they can start breeding and everything of that sense. And I'm hoping that one of these guys will actually pick up on this composter and become the farmer. Hopefully.
Oh,
Fingers crossed, because we all know how villagers work.
are you sure?
Not very well.
Oh.
This has been one of the best starts ever for me inside of a Minecraft world survival. This is crazy. We got ourselves a breeder, we got a mine shaft, we have a starter house, we got a little farm set up, and my plans for next episode, which if you're excited and want to stay tuned for more stuff, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also like it if you like this video and excited to see more. Also leave some comments so those bookshelves up there in the barn can get filled. But this area right here, ooh, big things are coming. Big things are coming. Well, anyways guys, have yourselves a good day. So in the last episode got up to quite a bit of good things going on here. We got some cows. We got a mine shaft all set up. We got a little basic field set it up over here. We have this beautiful house with a beautiful tree. And we also have a villager breeder. But the thing that I'm missing the most is iron. So I figured we'd kick today's episode off with actually starting up the project over here that I did teach you guys in the last episode of creating an iron farm, because I'm running out of iron and I need iron stuff. And that is why I got some of this stuff in my inventory. So let's make an iron farm, shall we?
I'm dead.
I begin digging down to create the villager holding cell. With this wooden slab and trapdoor partition, allows the zombie to see, but no touchy, of the villagers, causing them to be scared to summon an iron golem. By digging this area out makes this the only spawnable space for the iron golems. Now we all know working with villagers can be the most enjoyable thing in the world. realized that a couple of villagers decided to eat themselves into the killing chamber for the iron golems, I had a moment of realization to remove the lava in hopes that it would help. And looky here, we got iron golems spawning where they are supposed to be. So now we have infinite iron. Alright, so now that we got our hands on infinite iron, I'm not quite too happy. I'm a bit greedy if you ask me. By greedy, I mean I need more things to trade with these villagers.
Hello.
But in order to get anywhere near that, I need to upgrade the mine shaft.
It's a nice day we haven't. Excuse me.
But in order to do that, I need to get more stuff. By more stuff,
How are you today?
gonna make a bunch of tools, gonna expand on the mine shaft, and hopefully in today's episode, we can get some diamonds and actually get an enchantment set up and have
Are you
all
sure?
kinds of good things.
I like potatoes too, you know.
Don't you guys agree?
Huh.
Don't you think we need some pretty
is
blue
this?
rocks? No? Alright. They don't know what they're
Wanna
talking
trade
about.
some emeralds, good sir?
You know, I completely forgot exactly how difficult it is to try to create a 3x4 mine shaft going all the way down to -64 with just iron tools. No enchantments, nothing fancy, just plain old iron pickaxes, and it did get kind of more of a pain once I hit this water pocket. I didn't realize just how big this water pocket was until I had to try to remove it from the actual staircase. But anyway, see my reactions when I finally get down to -64, or almost -64. Wow, I had just enough torches. This cave is so huge. So what I want to be able to do is actually transform this little section right here into like a little storage unit slash train station, if you will. That the minecart is going to come all the way up here. It's going to stop up into here and maybe even figure out some auto unloading. So that way, one, I don't have to lug up and down these stairs myself, and I can just put a bunch of items into the minecart chest and send it all the way up here. And then I can convert this whole space into almost like an open, like mine shaft concept to have this completely open. So what I need to do is replace all of these stone blocks right here down the middle into these stone bricks, and then stone bricks into the deep slate bricks. And then what I need to do is just run these deep slate bricks all the way down to the bottom. In order to do that though, I'm going to need a lot of redstone and I'm going to need a lot of gold. So I'm going to challenge myself to a 1-hour mining session to see if I can get 1, shiny blue rocks, 2, some gold, 3, some redstone, because I'm going to need a lot of powered rails. So I'll see you guys back here in roughly about an hour or so. Well, folks, it's been exactly 1 hour, and I came across quite a few caves, so I was able to gather up quite a bit of good resources. However, I'm not entirely sure if I did gather up enough gold, but I did get a lot of good juicy loot of other things, of very important resources that I was itching to gather, itching to get, that I must have, because, you know, iron just isn't going to cut it for me anymore. I need that more shiny blue look, because this iron, it's looking a bit boring. Now that I've cleaned out my entire inventory of all of the junk of the stone and tuff and gravel and all of that stuff that we don't really care to see, this is what the big haul was. 4 and a little over half stacks of redstone dust. We have 23 raw gold and 31 diamonds. So that means not only can I get a full set of diamond tools, I can do a full set of diamond armor, and I can actually make an enchantment table. Which, if you recall, I did see a little lava pool, actually quite a few of those down there in the strip mine. So I'm going to gather up some obsidian. I'm going to breed up these cows, get enough leather and paper situated so that way, that's right, the next thing is we're going to build a little cool enchantment setup. Because while I'm waiting for all this gold to smelt down and actually do the science behind figuring out how many powered rails I'm going to need, 2 regular rails, to transport myself and a chest all the way back up to the top of the mine shaft, so I don't have to take the stairs, because efficiency, right? We got to be efficient in this world. There's no excuse for not being efficient. So while I'm waiting for the lab results to come back on how many powered rails I'm going to need to actually transport our butts and items from the bottom of the mine shaft all the way up here to the top, and I'm thinking this section right here is going to look very nice for the enchantment tower. That's right. Going to build ourselves an enchantment tower so we can actually enchant these tools and actually, say goodbye to this gross iron stuff because I got diamonds now. We don't need to be rocking iron stuff anymore. That iron farm over there is just going to supply us for iron rails, hoppers, and decorative blocks such as these beautiful lanterns, iron bars, etc., etc. But before I can do that, I need to tear down this ugly house, and also I need to take some of the mossy cobble from it because I still have yet to find moss, and I need to find moss really soon. So let's take this down, and then we'll start working on the enchantment tower. And then hopefully we can actually get the results back from the lab of how many powered rails I need to regular rails to transport my button items up to the top of the mine shaft. Woo! So now that the enchantment tower is actually complete, I was really excited to actually do some level 30 enchantments. However, a creeper did get to me and I lost all of my levels, which you can see right over there. I was standing back taking some pictures to reminisce on this build of how beautiful it is, and a creeper snuck up behind me and blew me up right there. But the lab results did come in, so it's time to actually build up the minecart system to go all the way down to the bottom of the mine. So let's get that built up, because, it needs to be done today. I promised you we're going to build an awesome mine. We're going to build an awesome mine. So yeah, like I said, I got this all built up. It's nice and beautiful looking. No, right? Yeah, it needs some work. I need to come up with designs and everything to actually figure out what I'm going to do for the corridors, all the way going down on the walls, which I'm thinking I'm going to mimic the same thing coming all the way down. However, I do want to leave this open, so it's like your typical mine shafts that, like those down there, actually prime example, which we should probably explore that at some point. But make this look open, maybe do some cool builds down here, like set up some shops for villagers or something. Maybe, I'm not quite sure. But I know I want to dedicate this space behind me to storage of like all of our mining stuff and stones, because it does take up a lot of space, and I don't want to like have to build onto the starter house or build a giant storage hall. I want to have different storage locations across this entire world for different segments. So maybe this will be like the mining quarry of the world. So we can come down here, grab whatever we need for stone resources, or be like, hey, I need to grab some diorite. I need to gather up some granite or andesite or tuff or anything. It's like, all right, let's head to the mines. Let's head over here to this area, and then boom, bada bing, bada boom. We got all kinds of things. It is a bit of a slow drive going all the way from the bottom to the top of this because of how far apart I spaced these rails. Every 3 rails, I put down a powered rail because I didn't quite have enough of the resources that I really did need. However, I did run out of time for this episode, but in next episode, you know what we're going to do? You want to know what we're going to do? We're probably going to go to the end. Maybe the end, or maybe the nether. I don't know. You guys take a guess down there in the comments and see which dimension that we're actually going to go into. Either the end, or the nether. But anyways, guys, have yourselves a good day. It is now official. I have survived over 100 days in this Minecraft 1.21 survival world. I took on the challenge that every Minecraft world has, and that is wood. We all know how to follow tutorials and build auto tree farms, but to me that takes away the fun of manually harvesting the wood you need for projects. In today's episode, I decided to build up a huge lumberyard not only for good looks, but to serve a purpose in storage for all the wood related items, but to also have some custom terrain to have a plantation of all of the trees that are in Minecraft 1.21. For the last 50 days that I've survived in this world, I have used this area quite right behind my house as a rudimentary tree farm. However, it's starting to get overwhelming. And a wandering trader came by the other day and I was able to trade some emeralds for some propagules, so we got quite a bit of mangrove wood coming in here. The plan for today is I've been gathering up quite a bit of wood because what I want to do is expand this area over this way. I'm thinking that over here is a good area for a lumberyard. To expand it, have a beautiful building, have storage set up for all of the wood needs that we have, and also kind of organizing more so how our rudimentary tree farm is going. So that way, if I need wood, I can just go down the lines and get the wood that I need. First things first, I need to do some deforestation over here, plus I'm going to need a lot of that oak and a lot of that birch that's sitting right over here. And also going to have to do some landscaping because this building we're going to build is going to be pretty massive. But there's also a bunch of other projects that we're going to be doing today as well. I'm not going to be totally focused on this. I'm going to be picking at it over time throughout today, and also got to do some adventuring to get different blocks for decorations in that sense. Let's get sleeves rolled up and let's get to doing the grunt work and getting this land prepared for today's main project of the lumber. Alright, now that I've cut back the trees of this area, I now know what I'm exactly looking at. I did notice that we got a beehive over there, and there's also one right there, and there's quite a bit of sheep. I need to go adventuring to find a jungle biome, because I'm going to need some bamboo, and also some jungle wood, and also, why not explore a little bit, see what this world has to offer. Because so far we've only really seen spruce, oak, and birchwood. I want to see some different terrain. So I need to head on to a little exploration adventure to come across the jungle, which hopefully I do. I set off on my adventure with my trusty oak boat. I was excited to come across the sunflower field, so I made sure to gather a few flowers to bring back home. I was fortunate enough to come across a cha-cha wood. Yes, a cha-cha wood, not acacia. I thought this jungle biome was really small, but it wasn't. It led me to a mangrove swamp, which I was really surprised to see, so I made sure to gather about roughly 2 stacks of mud. Then I found this beautiful village, which I did make sure to leave no stone unturned. So many goodies, so much loot in this village. I didn't realize that this jungle actually went across the river, and I happened to find some bamboo, so made sure to gather that for a future farm. Wink wink, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, who knows. This ruined nether portal I found didn't have any good loot, so I made sure to take the obsidian and crying obsidian, because I do have plans for these blocks. After spending many hours adventuring, I decided it was time to head home and get today's plan put into action. Well, that was a lot of fun going around and adventuring and seeing all kinds of new things and see what is inside this Minecraft world, and obviously it's not entirely just the taiga biome. So I happened to gather up quite a bit of good stuff. 2 stacks of hay bales, so we're pretty good with hay. We got quite a few workstations, some crying obsidian, mud. Did get a cha-cha. We did get some melons because I wanted to make some pumpkin and melon farms, sunflowers. Very excited for those. Now I need to figure out what the next step is. I know I'm going to need a lot of deep slate, so I figured to kind of like 2 birds, 1 stone situation is I can kind of start working more further on of expanding down into the mine shaft and making the walls actually look pretty and everything. Why don't we actually clear out some of those walls in there because I'm going to need deep slate for the lumberyard build. We'll let nighttime cycle and make sure the iron frame doesn't get broken. So let's head out into the mines and actually start expanding the walls and getting things prepared to continue to beautify the mine shaft. So after all of that digging and everything, I've kind of realized that yeah, my stone storage is really not working out anymore. So it's time to expand on that. And the way to do that is what my plans are for the mine shaft. So before we can actually start working on the lumberyard over there, I think let's take some time and actually plan out some storage area for our mine shaft. So like what I wanted to do with this area is leave this section open to make it look like a mine shaft. An abandoned mine shaft, that is. And then back over here is where all the storage is going to be. So I need to get to digging and leveling this out and figuring out some cool design to actually mock up some storage and make it actually look pretty and decent. Because down here is going to be the storage for all of our stone and dirt related materials. Because this is going to turn into the quarry of the world, basically. I mean, why not? Giant cave, mine shaft, minecart. Might as well make it our own little storage and quarry. So I got this area dug out. We come down the staircase and then we bang a right. This is where the storage is going to be. Like 50 something chests. And it's going to be like 3 or 4 tall. And now the idea is to come up with some sort of cool design. And I'm thinking this wall right here is going to be more of a decoration kind of a thing. Like some cool shelves, armor stands, stuff like that. I did break a diamond pick, so I had to replace it. And before I went on my adventure, I did make diamond tools, so that way I was ready to go and to collect things. So now I need to get on the grind of gathering up a bunch of wood and coming up with a design in here. And I'm thinking I'm going to use some of that new mud in this build design. So let me get some materials. Let me get a bunch of chests made up. And I'll meet you guys back here for the building process. So this is what I had in mind for the floor. And then what I'm thinking is if we did spruce pillars going all the way up in all the corners. Now need to figure out what we're going to put into the ceiling. I'm thinking I'm going to do some like deep slate bricks with some of the deep slate tiles as well. So it's time to rip the ceiling out and get it replaced. I did decide after a little bit of a while that what I was going to do is actually take the spruce logs and run them along the entire top. Right above where the chests are going to go, and I'm going to inset the chests by one. Next, what I did was figure out actually how I was going to place the lanterns in the ceiling so that way we had light coming down from above us. Once the ceiling was all put in, I then ran around with the lanterns to actually put them in their designated spots, so that way monsters won't spawn down here and scare the living crap out of us. Now it's time for me to rip up all of this cobble and figure out exactly where I'm putting these chests and what the surrounding blocks are going to be. I had decided that I'm going to use dark oak slabs as the flooring support for the chests and to add a little bit of a brim all the way around the outside. Then I figured that I would just take some oak wood and I would do it to wrap around the walls of the sides and the back walls of where the chests will be placed. And to make it so that way I can actually access the top row of the chests, I'm going to use upside down oak slabs to carry it along. And now the fun part of actually running down each of these little sections to place in these chests, which does get fun after a while because you're going to hold down on the left shift so that way you can actually make your double chests. Now I know what you might be thinking, this might be a bit overkill, but in reality it's not. This is going to be a long-lasting world, and I'm going to need a lot of storage for stone-related materials, dirt, gravel, all that good stuff. So now that I got the design kind of figured out of what I'm going to do, and to make sure that I can actually access the top chest, it is time to mimic this to this side and to this side. So I'll bring you guys back as soon as I get those two sides done. Woo! Well, I did spend a little bit of time actually getting blocks organized, and how I'm going to organize my system is that the blocks in front of the chest is going to associate with what is in these chests. So when I first get silk touch and everything and I start getting regular deep slate, this section right here is going to be dedicated to deep slate. So we got our diorite, granite, andesite, we got our tuff, we got dirt, and then again silk touch will get grass. Over here we got the cobblestone, the stone, which I did trade with a stonemason to get a couple of emeralds and to lock him into a trade somewhere in this village. I don't know where he went. But this area will be designated to stone, and then we'll have our gravel. I tried to keep in mind with how much of these items that we're going to collect over time and how big of a storage size it's going to need, which again, thinking that, 4 tall, 5, 6 wide of something is probably going to be enough for the time being. I'm trying to future-proof everything, so I'm hoping that by doing this, it'll work it out. And what I want to do over in this area is do a little bit more of decorations of like hanging up some tools or something with item frames or doing some cool stuff in that sense. And maybe even throw in a couple of armor stands in here into this closet. And this door is not facing the right way. There we go. Now it opens up like a double door closet. And then threw in a stone cutter in case I need to do some stone cutting crafting, which also I didn't think to do storage for like the variants of everything. So this is all the raw variants of all of this stuff. So we just have deep slate, just gravel, just stone, just cobblestone, etc, etc. I'm thinking that I'm going to keep the storage of all of the variants actually up here in the house. So like what was the stone chest, I think I'm going to like take all of these variants that have been kind of sticking over into these barrels here, going to be in the stone storage in the starter house. But what I need to do is actually get some better tools, because I've gone through a couple of pickaxes already and my shovel's looking pretty weak, and I got a lot of terraforming to do over in that section for where the lumberyard's going to be going. Plus I did use up quite a bit of wood, so I need to spend some time gathering up some more wood so that way I actually have all the resources that I need to build the lumberyard and to make the area look beautiful and transport all of these trees from this little knoll off over there and figure out exactly where the rudimentary tree farm is now going to be placed and held. Also been harvesting and gathering up bamboo like nonstop, so that way I actually have the bamboo and can eventually just get rid of this completely and build a farm for it. But that's all for the future. In due time, everybody. In due time. I figured the location right next to the enchantment tower is the best location for the toolsmiths. I needed to remove this old villager house first to begin the foundation for the new building. By having these toolsmiths here, it will help me down the road of not needing to mine diamonds to get myself some tools. I do enjoy that these tools do come with some enchantments, but still a lot of work to create the best tools from these guys. I will need to set up a building for the librarians, so that way I can be more efficient when it comes to getting the best enchantments for my tools. These toolsmiths need some sort of forge to craft these tools for me, right? That is why after building this back wall, I decided it was a good spot to put in a forge. Now, I know it isn't the prettiest building, but in time with some outside decoration, it will really take some shape. Once I do get my hands on some name tags, I will be naming these guys, and that is where you come in to help me with names. Put it down there in the comment section. Also, if you're enjoying this content, make sure to like the video. It does help the channel and show me that you guys want to see more of this content. And if you're new, consider subscribing, because these villagers are lonely and they're getting tired of just having one-on-one conversations with me, and they need more friends. Ah yes, our toolsmith hut is now complete. I still need to do some polishing up with some decorations and everything, but we did get our hands on a couple of tools. We do have a Silk Touch Efficiency 4 Unbreaking 3 Diamond Axe, Efficiency 3 Unbreaking 2 Shovel. That's as far as we've gotten. But I have spent the time, and I have gotten all of these toolsmiths up to master level, so there's nothing to worry about. I just need to have spend more time trading iron for the emeralds, and the enchantment trades are poor, so it's taking me time to actually gather up the levels that I need to combine some tools. I have 2 other diamond shovels that I need to combine to add on to this shovel to make it a beautiful shovel, and I also have an efficiency for Fortune 2 Unbreaking 2 and a second Fortune 2 pickaxe set I need to combine. The issue is I need like over 20 levels of experience, so that's going to take some time. But now that I actually do have a decent shovel, it is actually time to start doing some of the terraforming that I need to do over there to build the lumberyard, so that way we can get all of our gross trees off of the knoll up here. So when we look out this window, we're not just seeing a bunch of random trees, we'll see something very beautiful sitting here at some point in due time. Now, I know this episode's been full of time lapses and me commentating over the time lapses, so maybe this time we'll do like a little cool montage with different camera angles, with some upbeat music or something. I don't know, maybe the music's playing already, and it's rolling right into the time lapse. Well, that took quite a bit of time. I want to say about roughly 2-ish hours to flatten this all out. And then I started to do just some sloping and landscaping around the edges here. And I decided that I was going to dig out this section right here, because this section right here is where the lumber mill is going to go. I'm sure you like hearing my voice, or maybe you don't like hearing my voice, but I need to get this lumber mill done. I'm on a time crunch. I only got a few hours left of the day that I can actually get things done. I did spend some time overnight actually gathering up all of the resources that I am going to need to build this thing. So let's get crack-a-lackin' and get this lumber mill built, and then we can actually start cleaning up our village over here. Because it's becoming a mess, and I don't like it. We need to be organized. We need to be efficient. Well, now that the actual infrastructure of the lumber mill is now built, I still need to do some work to it. I need to actually put in the interior decoration, figure out the whole storage system, texture up these walls because this stone is just gross. The block that I'm missing that I want to do for the floor wires me to go into the nether. So I think it's time to finally, roll up these sleeves and head into the scary biome. Okay, this actually might have been one of the better spawns that I've ever had coming into the nether. And there's the blocks that I need to do the flooring in the lumber mill. While in the nether, I made sure to gather up some quartz because I'm going to need some observers for some future farms. Specifically, like to make an automatic bamboo farm that we don't have to worry about manually harvesting bamboo anymore. And plus we can hide it underneath the lumberyard. I also made sure to grab a few stacks of this basalt because I planned on using this as the flooring material for the lumberyard, and also it's a pretty block. Until I realized that I wasn't paying attention and broke my diamond pick. So I figured that was a good time to leave the nether and get back to where it's nice and safe, because I don't really have the tools, gear, or equipment to really be in here. So what I need to do is I need to rip this entire floor up, and then I can start placing in the basalt blocks that I want to use as the flooring block. But I do need to also keep in mind of where I want to actually stick a little entrance to go downstairs, because I want to hide an automatic bamboo farm down below. So what I'm thinking is actually, instead of doing a ladder, I can do a staircase that comes down. Going straight back, this is where one of the bamboo cells is going to be, because I only have enough materials just to make, one little cell of 8 on each side. So I need to carve out this little room right here, and then I'll bring you guys right back. We now have an automatic bamboo farm set up. Yeah, it's not the most efficient. However, when some of the pistons go off on this side, it'll trigger a line of dust going across and connecting both sides together. So more than likely both sides will trigger off, except for the fact that, redstone dust can only go so far in length. But just to get things going and rocking and rolling, I got it to kind of work. And as you can see, just so far having it set up and just watching it to make sure it works, got a little bit over a stack of bamboo already. What I need to do for the rest of the time being is I actually do need to get all the trees put over here. I need to decorate this building just a little bit more, texturing, detailing the walls itself, figuring out the storage on the inside of that, and potentially putting in a few custom trees. But these are all things that I can do off camera because all of this is boring and you guys don't really want to see that, do you? We've already done so much in this episode. So I just want to do a huge thank you to all of you for the support and the love that you guys have been showing in these last few episodes. It really does warm my heart. And consider sharing with your friends, family, pets, trees, anybody. Everybody loves Minecraft stuff. But anyways, guys, have yourselves a good day.